Hello, the Pioneer viewers. As the Pioneer team, we continue to convey the Russia-Ukraine war to you. As you know, in our map reports and attacks of the Ukrainian army on the Kherson front line have increased. We know that the intensive attacks gives the Russian army quite difficult minutes. Russian soldiers are quite complaining. New Russian soldiers cannot resist the attacks of the Ukrainian army. Moreover, there is situation. There is a big gap in the Russian defense line. Yes, there is. There is a big gap in the Russian defense line. Ukrainian forces are using this gap to penetrate behind the Russian army's defense line. This is not just an allegation. Russian servicemen are reacting to the Russian war leadership with their own impression of the situation. As you may remember, there was a change of commander. Russian commander Teplinsky took command in this region. There are also quite remarkable developments regarding Teplinsky. So what are these developments? Let's take a look at the developments together. As the Pioneer, we continue to convey the Russia-Ukraine war to you. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications so as not to miss our daily map reports and reports on the agenda. You can also support me and our team by using the super thanks button under our videos. Let's start if you're ready. The Pioneer reports. Yes, we have prepared today's report based on the allegations shared by the public by a Russian soldier. The Russian soldier in question has been sharing reports via Telegram under a pseudonym. His latest report is about the developments on the Kherson front line. Russian soldiers are trying to stop Ukrainian attacks on the Kherson front line. Since attacks of the Ukrainian troops are combined with the attacks of the Ukrainian artillery units, there are significant deterioration in the defense line of the Russian army. But they are still trying to resist. But we can't say this resistance will last long. At least the statements of the Russian soldier, whose statements we'll share with you in our report today, shows this. Let us first share the statements of this soldier with you. Kherson front is boiling. For a year and a half, the paratroopers stood in the direction of Kherson and advanced to destroy the Ukrainians from the historical Russian land at the cost of the lives of our brothers, children, husbands, fathers, and sons. We are in a bad situation, and the war leadership does not care. We are pained by what is happening now in Kherson. The Ukrainian army not only managed to break through to the left bank, but also took positions along the coast, captured part of the villages. They forces our troops to retreat. The Ukrainians are holding their positions. Our attacks are not strong enough to push them back. They started the crossing of the armored vehicles across the river. They're getting stronger. We see armored vehicles on the island, but the deliveries continue. It won't stop here. We were there and we knew that we had to do all this in order not to let the enemy in. But the war leadership doesn't know. They are still not sending us enough support. We have a lot of trained regular soldiers behind. We have a lot of equipment, but there is a deficit at the front. The personnel changes that took place in the Kherson direction were clearly not to the liking of some. Apparently, only the place of the newly appointed effective General Teplinsky was licked. There was an attack on Teplinsky's position, my friends told me, but we know the commander is good. The airborne troops are awaiting orders from the combat leadership. If they give us orders, we can fill the gap. Put pressure on the Russian war leadership. Make them send us. If they don't, we'll face a big defeat. All our friends or commanders will be destroyed. We have shared the latest developments on the Kherson front line in our map reports. The issues we discuss in our reports are generally related to the directions of attacks and territorial changes. Therefore, I recommend you to watch our latest map report again. As you can see, the statement of the Russian soldier clearly revealed the developments on the Kherson front line. As I shared with you in our previous reports, Teplinsky is a very popular and respected commander in the Russian army. We can also say that he has a successful military career. The only problematic situation with Teplinsky is that he had a bad relationship with Vladimir Putin, the president of the Russian Federation. In fact, we shared with you a very remarkable claim in the reports we published in the first days of his appointment to the head of of his troops in Kherson. According to the allegations, Russian leader Vladimir Putin appointed him as the commander of the Russian troops on the Kherson front line to eliminate Teplinsky. There was a striking point in the statements of the Russian soldier. The Russian soldier stated that Teplinsky's location was leaked and that the area was hit by the Ukrainian army. At this point, question arises: who leaked the location of Teplinsky's location? Is there an agent among Russian soldiers? Could Vladimir Putin, the Russian president of the Russian Federation, be connected to this incident? Let us establish a simple cause and effect relationship. Russian leader Vladimir Putin is on bad terms with Teplinsky. Teplinsky is a very popular commander in the Russian army. Teplinsky can recover the Russian army, which suffered heavy losses on the Kherson front line for a while. In this case, Russia will be in an advantageous position. The Ukrainian army, of course, will increase its attacks. In this process, Russia will only gain time to find a new commander. If a new commander can be found to lead the units of the Russian army in the region during this period of time, everything necessary for the destruction of Teplinsky in the region will be done. Based on the claims of the Russian soldier, who is apparently a paratrooper, we can say that a rehearsal of this was carried out. The president of the Russian Federation may be willing to sacrifice a successful Russian commander whom he sees as a threat to himself against all odds. But will this happen? We have repeatedly witnessed what Russian leader does when he is cornered. We think we will witness such a situation once again. However, this could lead to a very difficult situation for the Russian army. While these developments are taking place on the Kherson front line, the Ukrainian army continues to hit strategic Russian targets on the Donetsk front line. According to the latest reports, Ukrainian artillery units carried out a very critical attack. According to the latest reports, the attacks of the Ukrainian artillery units on the facility in the Donetsk was carried out today with the HIMARS missiles. According to the Ukrainian sources, the attack destroyed a school for unmanned aerial vehicle pilots. According to some sources, this facility was also used to host information operations. With this attack, the Ukrainian army carried out a very critical operation to the Russian army. The destruction of both drone pilots, training schools, and the intelligence center will negatively affect the Russian troops on the Donetsk front line. The Russian army continues to take heavy blows. The Ukrainian army continues its resistance with incredible determination. What do you think? How do you think the Ukrainian army is succeeding in the offensive in the Kherson? What do you think about the latest situation on the Russian army on the Kherson front line? Who do you think leaked the information about Teplinsky's location? Let me know in the comments. I read and care about your comments.